New warnings could be issued for areas from Orange County to San Diego as the storm moves through. L.A. County Public Works crews been out this morning helping two Linwood homeowners who know firsthand what the series of storms is capable of. The storms delivered enough rain to saturate the soil and enough wind to push over some trees. One tree fell on a house in the 4,000 block of Brewster Street. Just a couple of minutes later, another gust was all it took to push a tree onto a home on the 3,000 block of Lugo Street. Nobody was hurt at either home. The spread to the Rose Parade's officially on. Decorators and designers got busy in Pasadena in the early hours after Christmas with less than a week to get their floats ready to roll down the parade route. Stephen Pollack with Fiesta Floats tells Connect. It's all fueled by volunteers.
We have literally 10,000 people that will come through Fiesta Parade floats as we are decorating each of the floats. All sorts of wonderful volunteers from all over the world, and of course here in Southern California.
He says the weather is throwing them a curveball in float preparation.
We're predicting the weather to hold for the rest of the week, and that should be great for our putting on the flowers. Some flowers come from Southeast Asia and other warmer climates, and sometimes they need to be put in rooms that are at a warmer temperature so that they can open up.
The theme of this year's Rose Parade is the power of hope. The passage of Christmas means the start of a brand new holiday season, the season of people returning things they don't want. Retail analyst Marshall Cohen tells Connect that anyone who's taken something back should also keep an eye out for big bargains on things they do want, because tourists have a lot of stuff left over they still need to sell.
They are already on full post-holiday mode clearance. They don't want to even look at this anymore. So there were 70% off price offerings on so many of the holiday deals. The day before Christmas is actually when retailers really start to put the deep discounts in.
Cohen says most retailers aren't really bothered by all the returns they get because so many people who bring things back actually end up buying new stuff that often costs a little bit more. Could be some new charges coming up against Harvey Weinstein. An update on that story coming up in just about 2 minutes. Right now, 7:35. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5. Here's Jennifer York.
All right, so look, I've been on the phone with Inland CHP trying to get some kind of information about this Cajon Pass, and what she's saying now is the 15 North will be closed at Sierra, which is before the 215, before Glen Helen, but southbound is where I'm really concerned with all these people. Well, I'm concerned for both sides, of course, because you're stuck. But the southbound side, again, not moving, and I was speaking to a man that he's had to get out of his car and just literally try to walk to the exit to see if he can use the facilities there, because it's been so difficult. They've been stuck there for 3 hours, and it is snowing. Let's go to Des. Oh, and by the way, we've got the Grapevine still shut down as well. That's from Parker Road to the Grapevine Road, and we're trying to get information as to when they'll start reopening that as well. But at this point, no, status quo. Both the 15 to the Cajon Pass and the 5 Grapevine shut down until further notice. Let's go to Des. He's got the latest westbound.
Well, got to warn about a brand new crash down McKellar Hill, westbound side of the Penn between Via Verde and Cole. Sounds like a crash with injuries, and both the left lane and the right lane taken away. So starting to see a backup forming through there. That was a good alternate to the westbound 60, where we have a signaler at the 605. Jackknife Big Rig has both your connectors from north and south 605 shut down. Jam from 7th Street. Use either Workman Mill, Crossroads Parkway, or Valley Boulevard to get around that. Eastbound 60 signaler at Ramona continues. Only the right lane open. Jam getting through the 71. We've had some roadway flooding. Let's get an update from Scotty.
Okay, 105 westbound to the southbound 405. That connector is shut down due to flooding, so you'll have a backup there westbound on the 105 as you approach the 405 interchange. So it's southbound to Connors. There's been flooding in the 3 right lanes. That's going to be a bit heavy down back toward the 5. Problems on the 110, both directions between Via Marisol and Avenue 60, so expect delays there. And West 118 connector to the South 405 is shut down due to an injury wreck. That's heavy off the 5.
And he's out at the 91 at McKinley. There was an overturned car in the carpool lane. Looks like they have cleared that 91 westbound at Riverside Avenue out in the Bloomington area. We have the left lane blocked there with a backup for about a mile and a half. Our next report is at 7:45. I'm Jennifer York with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Highs today going to be in the 50s. We do have the rain and the snow on the pass is continuing through today. Strong winds up through tonight. Wind advisory staying up until about 10 p.m. It's going to clear up later this evening. Lows will be in the 30s and 40s, and by tomorrow, sunshine. Highs will be in the 50s and 60s. Your exclusive 5-day forecast is coming up at 7:45. Currently 46 in Gardena, 40 and raining in San Bernardino, and 44 degrees in the Orlando index about 27. Sources say the LA County DA's office has intensified its contact with at least 2 women who have accused disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein of sexually assaulting them in Los Angeles. Those sources are telling the LA Times the DA's office also has broadened its review of allegations against Weinstein to include several other women across the country. It's now looking into at least 8 sexual assault claims, but that number could go higher. Weinstein set to go on trial next month in New York for 2 alleged assaults there. Prosecutors say Newport Beach attorney Michael Avenatti is deeply in debt, which is apparently, they say, why he tried to extort millions from Nike.
Michael Avenatti says any claim he was $15 million in debt is ridiculous, absurd, and laughable. That's a problem. Avenatti claims he was trying to help Nike conduct an internal probe after lawyers for the company indicated they were interested in such an investigation. Mainly the debts were of former clients, one or more former law partners. Both of his former spouses were challenged.
That kicks in because of the shorter daylight hours and the time of year.
The sun plays an important part in regulating our body clocks, and for some people, winter months are difficult to adjust to because of the difference in the hours of actual daylight. Greg Murray, director of the Center for Mental Health at Australia's Swinburne University, explains,
it's really driven by an awareness that our biological timing, which sits deep in every cell of the body, may be in conflict with what we would call social time, as measured by the alarm clock, for example. And so when people talk about counteracting this, they really do talk about changing social time.
Murray says one way to do that is for workplaces to allow some people to arrive at work later compared to summer months, so their bodies can recognize their own biological dispositions. Nathan Roberts, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Well, a lot of people spend today and the next few days shopping for post-Christmas bargains for a charity founded by a cancer survivor. It's going to be another day of seeking out and providing aid to children fighting the disease.
7-year-old Lily Bumpus beat cancer, but 2 Lilies continued its work nonstop through Facebook and other means to bring hope to pediatric cancer patients around the U.S. Her mother, Trish Anderson, says this year's been exceptionally busy.
We help over 980 children throughout the entire country that are battling cancer. Have facilities and care packages, but we do dream birthday parties and cancer-free celebrations and bill assistance.
Those gifts, often with handwritten notes from Lily, stand as a sign of assurance to young patients of the fact that total strangers value their lives. It's perhaps the best short-run treatment, even as the work to cure pediatric cancer continues. Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Santa Anita not going to be launching its winter racing season today, which marks the first time in more than 40 years it hasn't kicked things off on the day after Christmas. The opening has instead been put off until Saturday to give the track time to dry out and possibly be safer for horses after this week's heavy rain. The delay reflects new policies and rules aimed at protecting racehorses from harm after 37 of them died at Santa Anita over the past year. Going to be updating a crash on the 10 West leaving Pomona. It's slowing down the drive there. Roadex traffic at 4 minutes. It's 7:41.
I was 16, a budding athlete. Father Mike took notice. He said, let's start a youth group, handed me a beer, complimented my physique, and told me I was a leader. But he pretended to be concerned about my health and had to examine me. In 1980, nobody spoke of these situations. Today, that's not the case. I'm attorney Paul Barr. New laws in California extend the time period survivors of childhood sexual abuse can seek justice. It's important to call now. Creditors, private high-tech religious or educational institutions, and Gallagher, V. Robertus, and Waxman is ready to hold them accountable. To clergy, school districts, hospitals. Were you abused? Now is the time to file a lawsuit, regardless of the time elapsed. I was a victim. I know what it's like. A lawyer at Gallagher, V. Robertus, and Waxman will take your call between 8 a.m. and midnight every day. 1-877-8-ABUSED. That's 1-877-8-ABUSED. 1-877-8-ABUSED. It's time for justice.
We all know the importance of health insurance, but it's not always easy to afford. That's why there's Covered California. We are the only place you can get financial help to pay for your health insurance. And this year, there's more financial help available